Well, is there a new energy in the air? I think so. Hey, Coach Richard here. There are things that happen in our lifetimes that are remarkable when it comes to our basic fundamental beliefs in our freedom, our ability to live life on our own terms, our ability to not be interfered with, but to be able to go forward, the ability to cast off the people that keep saying, we know what's best for you. We know it's best for you. You're too dumb and stupid to know what's best for you, so only we can tell you. And a lot of people accept that, right? A lot of people will put themselves, maybe that's you, in a state that says, well, hey, I don't know too much. And instead of me being authentically curious, right, and diving into something, I'm just going to listen to this over here and line up and just accept what everybody else is doing because that's just the way things are, right? Not necessarily healthy for the individual. So why do I say that today? Well, number one, we know why, what's going on south of the border. Number two, we see the nonsense of the political landscape in Canada. And I'm not a person who wants to dwell on that so much, because if you do that, we're not looking after our own business, our own thing that's going on. But I do know this, that if we accept the absolute authoritarian line of we know what's best, you don't know what's best, therefore just listen to us, it's a problem. And that goes for me too, right? That goes for me too. Not just listen to me. Hopefully you spend time in other areas and get a wealth of other information, but don't dwell on it. Okay, you probably already have enough of the information in a whole lot of areas, and you can get caught up in that whole circle of I got to know more, I got to learn more, I got to see more, right? I got to watch another podcast, I got to blah 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 blah. No, today marks a day of a transformation of the North American and maybe even global landscape. So, what is that all about? Well, look, I've worked really hard over the last 17 years to do nothing more than make North America and maybe other parts of the world as well healthy again. Personally, I've done that. I've teamed up with USANA Health Sciences to do that. I've seen remarkable changes in people's lives. I try and help people not actually end up with a medical condition, but a lot of people, medical conditions, it's a thing of, okay, maybe we can actually transform your health through a whole thing of optimal cellular nutrition and just metabolic health in general. So what does that manifest itself as? Well, let me tell you. How about people who have been living in a state of cardiovascular distress and multiple medications that today don't have them? Or how about people who've got liver enzymes that are on a continual path of just insidious medications that today they're not on anymore? Or how about people that were on diabetes medication, type 2 diabetes, where their metabolic health had gone down the drain, that today are fit, living, robust, vigorous people? Why? Because they haven't gone down that pharmaceutical pathway anymore. They don't need to. Or how about people who found themselves in degrading state of multiple sclerosis that today are playing stuff like pickup hockey and pickleball and have just changed their entire life because they adopted the whole principles of if it to be, it's up to me. That there are things I can do internally to fix myself. That's such a rewarding, I mean, absolutely rewarding endeavors, right? Pathway. 17 years ago, 18, I forget what it was, something like that. I made that conscious decision that said, quote, I'm 50 some years old. I don't need to keep doing what I'm doing because clearly what I'm doing is not working. And starting today, I'm going to do something different. Yeah, I made good money. Yeah, but I didn't have any time. I didn't own my time. But that's me. But how about you? How about your pathway? I started something very part-time. I kept working full-time at my job and then part-time on an endeavor that changed people's lives, transformed their entire households, provided an entire new pathway for them to prosper, to live in a state of prosperity, to live in a state of vigor and vitality. I can't think of anything more rewarding than that. The people to live a complete life so they can continue to drive those passions they have with their family, their children, their spouses, grandchildren, whatever it is, because they have the capital and they have the health, vitality, vigor to go forward and do it. Yeah. What more exciting world could you possibly imagine to live in than to live in that state? But it takes time. It takes that whole thing of ambition. A person has to have a degree of ambition, absolutely a degree of fortitude, a degree of grit to be able to work through the processes, but to team with people like me that tell you, here are the steps we're going to go to. We're going to go through A to B, B to C, C to D, D to F, or however that works. I guess there's an E in the middle of that. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time because I think there is an awakening that people are saying is that we're awake. We're not woke. We're awake. We're awakening, and we're awakening to something that is glorious. But are you awakening? Are you putting yourself in a position to win? To win, to cast off the whole negative Nelly nonsense of you're not smart enough, you're not worthy enough, you just need to be able to sit back and we're just going to take care of you. That's nonsense. You know it, I know it, everything in your fiber tells you that if you're paying attention to this video. So anyways, here we are, this, January 20th, 2025, and everything is on a new course and path. That's not to say that's going to make a difference in your life unless you use that foundation of what's coming to take the actions and steps and initiative and just guts, right? Your grit to be able to go forward and decide that you own your life. All right, Coach Richard out. I'm freezing. My hands are cold. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.